Time's up. Have your own.
Here it comes.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
What's the matter? Take yourself a great big bite of meat. Taste the pleasure of the highest quality pork around.
I hate switching screens because sometimes you think you click on something and it's not brought up, and then you go to click and then you double click and it all looks like you're a boomer. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Natural 20 at night. If I sound tired, it's because I am, because I feel like I've been streaming all day, and technically I was, but it's for something that has nothing to do with this channel, and it won't be published for at least a few days. So if I seem kind of out of it, Mustang sounds like he is hanging on for dear life, is because we spent the entire afternoon, 4 long hours, almost 5, I think, because
almost 5,
almost a lot of hours over on a stream being hosted by my life partner Jed, the Hollywood Scholar. We were helping him out with his Witcher 3 Volume 2 watch along reactions. So we did that all afternoon, and I feel like I've been streaming all day after putting up the video, which I did yesterday for this morning, because let's be honest, there's nothing going on. I mean, excuse me, I got the hiccups again, talking too fast.
I've seen more boobs in your intro than I saw in all of Witcher.
But I mean, there's nothing going on this week. I mean, there are things going on, but some things I'm relegating to a stream, like tonight's. Well, this story dropped while we were doing The Witcher. And by the time we were done, I had to, make dinner, get ready, do some stuff around the house. I didn't have time to crank out the video. A video like this, what we're going to go over tonight while we're running a stream tonight, that would have taken probably a couple of takes to get right. And then we're going to be reading the article, discussing it. That would have been like a 20-minute video edited down and all this. So that it would have taken too much time. I didn't have that kind of time. I still had shit to do before we got into this tonight. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna do stream. We're gonna do stream. Looks good. It'll get cut out, get edited down, and put up again tomorrow, because again tomorrow is a weird Friday, and because I still need to watch the movie for Saturday. I've never seen it, so I have to watch it. I can't get by in good old Memory Town for something. I've never seen Last Night in Soho, so I have to sit down and watch it. And then for Engage on Sunday, I already watched The Cage last week, but I haven't watched the next one. And I can't take a chance. We're not going to do 2 episodes, even though I think we'll move a lot faster now that we're into TOS and we're not dissecting and reminiscing about things connected to Picard. But I still have to watch that, and I've only got 48 hours to do it, because let's go over logistics. I mean, again, this is a Natural 20 at night. There's no rant. I did my rant yesterday. If you want to watch that, you'll have to go through the playlist or go through the link on Twitter X. That's not going to get old anytime soon. You have to go get it there because I've already unlisted it. But it's still there if you want to watch the rant. So there's no rants on a Natural 20 now. We just kind of jump right in. But logistics, just to make sure everybody knows what's going on. Tomorrow, we'll probably get a clipped video of this tonight. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe I'll fit in a stream. But then, of course, 11 p.m. Eastern, I'll be over on Dermy Wormy's channel for Ball Busters, where who knows what's going to happen. I think there's a guest. I don't remember who it is. I'd have to go back and look in the room. Then Saturday Night Driving. Last Night of Soho. I'll be watching that. Hot Take. And then Sunday is a very busy day for me. Very busy day, Mustang. 2 p.m. We got a roundtable. May have guests, may not have guests. Don't know. Jed won't be there. So we got roundtable at 2. We'll be done roughly around 4, like we always are. Then I hop over to Ryan at Legion Talk, where we're doing Star Trek Engage. We're beginning our TOS adventure, like I said. And then right after that, I'm going over to Devil Maybe Do It, his Beelzehub, for Get Ranked. On my first episode, my first guesting on Get Ranked, I was supposed to be there for the anime episode, which is what created the whole Fullmetal Alchemist thing on Ballbusters. I was supposed to be that, but of course I was on my deathbed, so there was no there. But I'm being there. I'll be there this Sunday. We're going over cartoon ladies in American animation in the 80s and the 90s. We're going to be ranking cartoon babes from that era. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's going to get weird. I mean, we're talking about animated titties, so it's going to get weird. So I no shame to my game, and I'm warning you all now. I'll be over at Definitely Do It Beelzehub after Star Trek Engage. So I got it's a busy weekend for me, Mustang. So can I make it to Monday? I wonder. And it's on it's only one of it's on my channel. And everything else, I'm going to other people's channels, which is still kind of a new thing for me. I'm not used to quite doing that. You know, it's a new feeling. It's fun to be wanted. So how you doing since this afternoon?
Well, I made dinner, and it was unicorn, and it tasted good. I'm waiting for the $2 back taco in the chat, and I'm still trying to recuperate from that hell that we went through this afternoon. I almost fell asleep. You all saw it.
No, I was watching the show. I mean, slumped in my chair, but I was watching the show. Yeah, get ready. Yeah, enjoy my bit on that one, guys. Enjoy my bit on that. I hurt my back doing it for a little while, so I hope you enjoy my bit when you watch that on there.
He pulled Dermy's finger. He did.
No, I didn't go. Well, I didn't go near Dermy. All right, so hail to the chat. How you guys doing? Hail Algrim the Strong. Good sir. Hail the Goddess. One of my mods, along with Mustang, one of my irregulars. Hail Agent Dale Pooper. I'm sorry that my streams do not line up with your schedule. I'd love it if you could make it live, but either way, I always appreciate your support in whatever manner you can deliver it. Going on down. Good evening, Kale. How are you? And anybody else is chilling out and watching, I'm happy to have you here on this late Thursday evening. I got the one definite story. Mustang knows what our primary article is tonight, and I might have another one. I got a couple things lined up. I don't know. It's all deciding whether or not I want to roll things. That's a
unicorn taco, not back taco.
Well, yeah, you'll understand that when Jed publishes that particular episode of our discussion.
God.
We're
on. Sorry in advance. Bless you.
Thank you. Well, I think I could kind of tell you now. On Sunday, we'll be, of course, covering the box office stuff with Barbenheimer still going. A couple other things, getting ready for things, getting ready for Turtles. We'll be going over a couple of trailers. I think we'll be going over the new Castlevania trailer. Have you watched that yet, Mustang? Nocturne.
I saw bits and pieces of it, but something else came up today.
I'm gonna watch it because I liked the first one they did on Netflix. First 2 seasons were freaking awesome. Season 3 got kind of literally got kind of gay, and then season 4 managed to salvage it and make it good. Now, what I wish is that they weren't jumping all the way to Richter Belmont. I wish they were going to go to Simon, because Richter's at the end of he's way down the line. I was hoping they go to Simon after Trevor, but now I don't know the particular Richter story they're going to tell. Rondo of Blood. I don't know that one very well. I know what happens after that. Symphony of the Night, where Alucard takes over as complete, the primary hero of that one. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's taking place during the French Revolution. So, but I need another trailer. This one had everybody but Richter talking, and everybody but Richter was talking in this. So I need a trailer where I get a little more Richter. because Richter's a badass. He's like the ultimate fucking Belmont. So I'm kind of excited. We'll be checking that out on Sunday on the round table. What else we else got here? Let's do a warm up article before we get to the big one. Let's do a warm up article. I'm gonna talk about this because I want your opinion on this one. Because I saw this and I saw some people in our sphere weighing in on this, and you might you might find this, and we'll probably go over this again on Sunday with the bigger panel, the regular panel. But Paramount Pictures jettisoning animation. It doesn't consider commercial as it goes all in on familiar franchise. That means they've already greenlit a second Seth Rogen Turtles movie plus a TV series to lead into that second movie. They must be real confident about this piece of shit, of what they're going to do with it. Because I think this movie is very in trouble. Because I don't think it's going to go. I think there are a few diehards out there, a few retards who are gonna lick this and love it and take it to bed. But I think the majority of I want to say mature Turtle fans are going to reject this. And then I don't think this is normie friendly. I don't think this movie is normie friendly at all. What do you think about that before we get further on this? What do you pay attention?
I'm paying attention.
That's about this. Okay, you're reading this. Okay.
It doesn't consider commercial as it goes all in on familiar franchises. Okay, familiar franchises, you want to hit people with disposable incomes or incomes. This isn't smart, you dumbasses.
You see, I'm on the other side of this, and when they say if it doesn't consider Paramount jettisoning animation, it doesn't consider commercials, it goes all in. I've read a couple different articles. I think this is a bad title. This is the one I bookmarked.
Okay.
I think this is IGN misleading. What they're doing, I saw a better article. I forget where it was though. Basically, if it's not an IP, Paramount isn't creating anything in-house anymore. Nothing original. They're going to simply focus on the IPs they hold.
Okay, those are dying.
Turtles.
Those are all dying, though. Nobody wants to see the destruction.
Well, all right, that's a different part of the conversation. What I'm saying is, I didn't even look at it. I'm looking at it from the fact that no one can create anything new anymore because they're all creatively bankrupt. So if you can't do that, you take what you got and you push content for it. Now, whether that content's going to be good, I don't know. But to me, this feels like a good strategy to me to work with the stuff that's familiar.
10 or 12 years ago, yes, but now nobody trusts anybody to do anything right.
Well, that's another level. That's another level of the conversation there. That's different. That's another level of do you trust it not to be agenda packed? And right now with this Seth Rogen Turtles, because that's what I'm going to call it, because I don't want to say the full name of that title because it's too many words and I'm tired. This thing's an abomination, both animation wise and story wise and lore wise and characters. They're butchering all these characters. We've already seen it.
Hasn't this thing they've been trying to do this for like 12 or 13 years now and it never works?
What? Do what?
Any of it. This is
I don't know. I mean,
what's the article say about it? Let me see.
Here's their here's their thing. So CEO Paramount, I don't care who you are. In 2011, they had successful SpongeBob movies with stuff that I've never heard of. Robin stepped in as Paramount CEO in 2021, as Variety notes, has overhauled the animation division, jettisoning projects that he didn't think were commercial. It was previously reported that Ron Howard's The Shrinking of Treehorn, which was set up at Paramount, was sold to Netflix. And Robbins also revealed the original music comedy Under the Boardwalk would be released on Paramount Plus instead of theaters. We're not going to release an expensive original animated movie and just pray people will come. Well, that's a legitimate thing. People look at that
business.
Well, think about this, because remember when during live action Hammerhead Mermaid,
yeah,
there was that people were talking about that teenage McCracken movie. That flopped. That flopped hard. That thing was a bomb. And that's sort of like an original thing. I was a teenage McCracken, or whatever the hell it was called. That flopped hard. And other things, unless they're under certain banners, animation-wise, tend to flop hard. So that's why that's why when I hear them say we're going to stick to things that people know, whether they're old or not, it's at least, is it a very conservative approach? And when I mean conservative, I just mean in terms of not ideological. I mean,
No, I know what you mean.
Financial. Well, I'm saying that for the audience. That's for the audience. It's a conservative approach. Yes, because you're playing it safe. And honestly, you're Paramount Plus. You're not exactly up there in the streamers. You're Paramount Studios. When was the last time you had a mega hit in the theaters that you helped produce, or at least helped get out there? You are in the embarrassing situation of your one successful Star Trek show was something based on content from 30 years ago. What do you got going for you? Nothing.
Nothing I can think of.
None. You're not exactly you all your TV series. I mean, Halo, fucking disaster on wheels. They've canceled the whole thing. They haven't had a hit. Nothing that was praised, not by real fans, by people by the actual nerds out here. So you are Paramount. You're the CEO. Was it Brian Robbins? You're the CEO of Brian Robbins. Pull it all in, man. Shrink it. Stick to the shit you own and hope that nostalgia baiting works. Which is why. Now, of course, I think it's really dumb to be putting any money on Seth Rogen Turtles. I think that's a bad bet. Some people can disagree. Some people in this very chat will disagree with me if they were here. I know that for a fact. Some people in the chat will disagree on that. But I think it's a bad idea to bet on Rogen because that dude was always a fake nerd, and now we know what he is. And to literally now triple down, because we'll double down. Show plus sequel. I think that's a bad move. Bad move. But they've also sunk a lot of money into Avatar: The Last Airbender. The original stuff, not the Netflix show. How they let Netflix get their hands on a live action version, I don't know. And that one, again, now and that's a weird thing all on itself, because that thing, I remember in its early announcements, it was not a direct adaptation of Last Airbender. It was some sort of modern day take on it in the real world. It's somewhere along, because when I reported on it and did a video on it, that's what it said when I read the stuff. Somewhere in between, they changed it to a direct adaptation of the Nickelodeon cartoon. Somewhere along the way. But Paramount Clear, see right here, they have dumped also a lot of time and money into a bunch of new Avatar: Last Airbender animated stuff with the original crew, not Sesame Timber's Korra.
Here's the thing. I'm looking at, if this is correct, I'm looking at what Paramount's done this year. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is going to be a flop. Paw Patrol, don't think I've heard of that one. Transformers, flop.
Oh my God.
Killer Flowers of the Moon.
Oh,
flop.
that hurts.
Bob Marley, A Quiet Place.
I'm dying.
Mission Impossible. Nothing they're doing.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that really hurt. I swallowed a mega gulp of water and it went down this giant thing, hurting all the way down. Ow. I wanted to say before I open your list, I was trying to say for that hurt. Ow. Paw Patrol, that's a little kids thing. That could be good for them. Because little kids love those dogs in their firefighter and policeman outfits. They love that shit. Have you
seen the price of gas? Mom and Dad right now are hurting.
They took them to Mario over and over again.
Yeah, but how much money do they have left?
All I'm saying is Paw Patrol, that's a kid thing, and that could do very well for them. To spend also because it probably is I would say probably is a really small budget. Anyway, so they got that. I think a Paw Patrol. What else did you say on there? What was your list? Because I was dying for a second there, so I missed what you said.
You were dying. Let's see here. We got Turtles, Paw Patrol, Transformers,
Wait, slow. So what troll? Paw Patrol. Oh, you said Paw Patrol. Okay.
Paw
All
Patrol.
right, so Beast Machines. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Beast Wars or Rise of the Beast. Yeah, that was a flop. That was a
Killer
flop.
Flowers of the Moon.
I don't know what that is. So if I
Bob Marley, One Love. Well, that's in 2024. And Top Gun. Or
all
not
right,
Top Gun,
so
Mission Impossible, sorry.
all right, so Mission Impossible, unfortunately, it's just that it's not right, but that thing is going to be a failure. It's not right, but it's true.
Dungeons and Dragons was there too. Okay.
How did that do? Let me look that up. I don't know how that did. Let me drop this because actually I'll just make a new window. Hang on.
So
New window
this
because
list
I
that
can internet.
Anyway, if this list that I got is correct, nothing they're doing, and these are well-known IPs, is doing well. How about just hiring somebody from the internet and doing something original?
Hang on. All right. So Rise of the Beasts on its $195 million budget with a massive marketing campaign we know they put out for that thing. Only made $418 million. So that lost money.
Didn't break even.
That lost money. Not hundreds of millions, but it lost some money. So Rise of the Beast was technically a flop. That didn't do well.
Yeah, 200 million probably is what it lost.
Yeah, my guess, I would say its budget was over 200 million because we know the marketing campaign was insane on that. Yeah, so yeah, nobody watched this. I mean, wow, nobody watched this movie. Now let's go to Mission Impossible real quick. Let's see where that is. Mission Impossible only $378 million on, and this is week 3 or 4. This is going to be week 3 for Mission Impossible.
Oh, it's done. Barbenheimer has.
Yeah, I mean, again, I never saw that coming, man. I didn't think Mission Impossible would get kneecapped like it did. I didn't see that. It's just, and it's not right because by all accounts, it's a great movie.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah. By all accounts,
and I think this is the opposite of Barbie, where Barbie, you didn't want anybody talking about it. Mission Impossible, you wanted people talking about it.
And let's not, when it comes to Mission Impossible, people, I don't want to hear the fatigue argument. This has nothing to do with fatigue. This was bad strategy, like we talked about last week on the side of Paramount. This was bad strategy. They should have dropped Mission Impossible in May when its competition was Little Mermaid. I think it would have done much better.
I'm also wondering how many people are waiting for the next installment before they go see it.
The people like me, yeah. So we look at this. I don't think this is a bad idea, but I take into account what you said, that they're banking on franchises that maybe don't have the same pull they once did, the same attention grab.
There's no way they've got the same pull. You see it on the internet just from anybody and everybody. It's not just somebody in our sphere or somebody that's an insider. Everybody's saying the same thing. They don't trust Hollywood to do anything right now from beloved franchises, because we saw today what they're going to do. Spoiler for everybody: they cucked Henry at every chance they could.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler. I heard people talking about it already. We're not to Henry Cavill. First of all, remember, Henry did nothing wrong. Henry Cavill did nothing wrong. There was no Witcher in The Witcher, and when he was there, it was really sad.
Yeah.
It was sad. So there was no Witcher in The Witcher. Cavill, the choreography they gave him, and you'll hear me talk about this in Jed's recording. So it's just a brief thing. Bad choreography. He did the best he could. And I look forward to Warhammer 40K. I look forward to Cavill 40K, where he's a producer and he has creative control. I look forward to that, because if we can have Cavill nerd dumping all his passion into something that he knows the end product's going to be what he wants to put out there, That's going to be fun. And as a guy who knows Warhammer at an average level, I'm not super Warhammer guy, but I know enough. I played tabletop miniatures. I had armies. I did that stuff. Had fun with it. I know lore. I played some games. I mostly fantasy, but I know I was around people who played 40K, so I'm not completely immune to it, or I'm not immune. Excuse me, I'm not completely ignorant of it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, and I look forward to that. But man, yeah, Cavill it's they took it and they did it. This goes all the way back to season 1. They took his show away from him, both literally and figuratively. Literally, Geralt was not the main character of his own show, and they forced Cavill out because they don't want his toxic nerd opinions on these things. So I get what you're saying when you say people don't trust the studios, the companies to make this stuff. And if Paramount is smart with this choice of strategy, they might just skate by. Because here's the thing, and here's why I think they have a chance to skate by. With the strike going on, and everything getting delayed, people are going to be looking to things they've watched in the past. They might be delving deep. So Paramount might get lucky and catch a nostalgia wave.
No.
I said
I'll throw an example at you. If you heard right now that 20th Century Fox, who still has the rights to this movie, is going to do a remake of Patton, what would you say?
No. But there's a difference. There's a difference. What we just saw from them, what they're doing, at least in a couple of those instances, I'll use Avatar as an example. That's not a remake. It's a continuation. And it's a continuation of the characters people loved, not Scissor Me on a Halfback, Korra. It's the characters, the original crew, a little older.
Unless it's coming out of Japan, I'm not going to trust something. I would not have been caring about another Godzilla, and then when I found out Toho was doing the next one, Toho knows how to do that with respect.
I'm just saying. I mean, I believe Paramount is the parent company of Nickelodeon, because that's how they have the control of Airbender, Last Airbender. I'm just putting it out there that they might strike. They might be able to thread the needle because of that. They'll catch a nostalgia. People, when they say Avatar, they don't think of. I can't think of another joke to go with. I'll just say they don't think of Korra. They think of Aang. They think of Aang and his team. And even though a lot of people have been going, no, well, when there's nothing else to watch in the coming months, they might just they might give it a try, and it might not be offensive. So it's a chance. I'm trying to be objective here. Is all I'm trying to be objective here.
I would love to be objective, but I'm even thinking, okay, if they try and do George of the Jungle or Bugs Bunny, there is nothing I want them to do that I would trust.
We're not. You're speculating about things that aren't even on the table. I'm just talking about what Paramount has on the table for this argument, because we're just talking about Paramount's strategy here.
Okay, The Last Airbender, you're talking a niche audience to begin with. That's not the normie audience.
Well, it might if the Netflix live action is any good, and again, we don't know. I mean, Netflix has a very bad track record, so it could be horrible. But if they manage to actually adapt it and get something halfway passable, it would put it out there in the realm of paying attention. So it could work. As far as the other things we saw in there, again, I think that their strategy with the turtles, I think that's not going to work. I think it's going to blow up in their face, because I think that this turtle movie, God, what? All right, let me check what the budget is on that. Maybe that I don't know what the budget is. Bring that back up. Okay, so do they have the budget yet? No, they don't have it on numbers. Let me see if I can find it on a search.
They need for them to do a nostalgia and make money. It has to be something out of the 70s. Not even the 80s would work right now. Maybe, but
Okay, there is no budget for Seth Rogen. No. I'll go with that. No, goddamn it, didn't give me what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Stupid thing. Stupid Google auto-filling. And it would help if I could type. Okay.
well, we know you can internet.
All right. They're saying the budget for Turtles is only 70 to 80 million.
That ain't right. Not with
That
that
can't.
CGI.
Not with that. No, that's that. No, minimum 100 million, like Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, it's going to
70,
be
80
100
million.
million. And Seth Rogen will add more to it.
Not to mention the voice acting cast that they slapped on that thing. A lot of big current names on there. No.
It's probably, if I was to guess, Seth Rogen films are always higher than what they originally start speculating. So I'd say that's probably going to be a 125, 135 budget. And then they are marketing the shit out of it already.
Yeah,
So it's a 100 million budget.
Filmic, the Filmic is saying reportedly 70 to 80 million. And that's just from 5 days ago. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that.
No way.
Not with the marketing blitz they've been also putting on this movie for a good 4 months now.
Yeah, Turtles is everywhere, man.
Yeah, I do not believe that for a second. 70, 80 million dollars. I do not, but there's no way.
It's going to probably be about 135 on the production and marketing. This one might be up there. It's everywhere like Little Mermaid. It might be a 200.
They've been pushing this market. The budget overall with production and marketing, it's got to be somewhere between 150 and 200. It's got to be.
Oh no, with marketing, it's more than that, man.
All I'm saying is that 70, 80 million, that can't be true.
No, it's not. Like I said, it's probably about 125, 135 on budget. And then with the marketing blitz that's been going on for 4 months, this is Little Mermaid level. We know that was 190.
We'll know in about 14 days.
We'll know what the budget was. We won't know what the marketing was unless somebody leaks it.
Well, we'll get some real numbers because the movie comes out in 14 days, August 10th. So we're going to get that very soon, and I think that's going to be a bomb. It can't possibly make.
Anybody that's seen April is already saying, "Hell no, I ain't going to see that."
Anybody that I hear complaints about the animation style, which I also think is garbage. I hate that. That's not animation to me. That's shoving paint up your ass and farting it onto a screen. That's what it looks like. But you know what? You know what is happening and will be done a lot of work on the screen? AI. AI is a big deal. It's supposedly part of the big problem with the strike for the writers. They're afraid for their jobs. When I saw this today, like I said, I didn't have time to get to it until now. This makes me laugh. It first started a couple days ago with just Netflix. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to talk about this just if Netflix is doing it. But when I saw this today, that more than just Netflix are now hiring for 6-figure AI-related jobs in their studios, now we got a problem. Studios quietly go on hiring spree for AI specialist jobs amid picket line anxiety. And you got to wonder, Adam, why are you making a big deal of this? Well, you see right there, Netflix, Disney, Sony. These are big boys. This isn't some dinky little production company. No, this is these. As much as you hate Disney, remember they are still a real player out there. They may be failing, but they are a real player. Give me 1 second. This is too bright on the screen. That's a little better. There we go. All right, so let's look at this. We're going to go through this. Help wanted, Netflix, Disney. While the writer and actor strikes are driven by multiple concerns, questions about compensation being a big one, there's no question that the role of artificial intelligence in entertainment has emerged as a hot button issue. In a fiery speech in Times Square on July 25th, actor Bryan Cranston, who was full of hot air, epitomized the concerns of actors, telling the crowd of hundreds, just hundreds, Mustang, just hundreds. We've got a message for Mr. Iger. I know, sir, that you look at these things through a different lens. We don't expect you to understand who we are, but we ask you to hear us, and beyond that, to listen to us when we tell you we will not be having our jobs taken away and given to robots. All right, let's take a moment here. Bryan Cranston, over the past decade, has become a very successful actor, Mustang, right?
Yeah.
He caught a couple of waves on both mainly TV, main movie, Breaking Bad. Never seen it, not interested in it. Don't care. Don't at me. I don't care about Breaking Bad. I never will care about Breaking Bad. So don't at me on that. But he caught a wave. So Bryan Cranston's doing okay. He's not hurting. He's not hurting. He can get movie roles whenever he feels like it. And he was even talking about retirement, I believe, a couple short months ago, if I remember correctly. So for Bryan Cranston to roll out here and virtue signal like this, I just roll my eyes when I saw that. I was like, just shut up, go away, go back to your little ivory mansion, and don't waste my time. You're not hurting. You don't care about any of this. You're just virtue signaling. All right. So what do you think about what he said there, though? Anything other than what I just said?
Honestly, that immediately has me now searching to see what his next movie that's coming out is, because this is a PR stunt.
All right. Well, you let me know what you find. The actors fear that the studios will take their likenesses or voices and reuse them over and over for little or no pay and with little in the way of notice. The writers fear that studios will use large language models like ChatGPT to write or rewrite scripts, harming their livelihoods. The producers, aka the armpit, I don't know what that is, I'm just saying armpit, that AI use should be a balanced approach based on careful use, not prohibition. First of all, the current batch of writers should be afraid because the AI is smarter than they are. ChatGPT is smarter than they are. These are a bunch of hacks who have no creativity whatsoever. They can't even make anything worthwhile. While the future of AI in Hollywood is unclear, there is no question that the major studios and streaming services are intrigued by the technology. Job listings at almost every major entertainment company show that there is a veritable AI hiring spree going on as companies seek to understand how the technology can change their business. And, fittingly given Cranston's speech, Disney seems particularly intrigued by the tech. The company has a number of open positions focused on AI and machine learning across the country, as per review of open positions by The Hollywood Reporter. Okay, let's see. Is there anything to unpack from all this?
Okay, I'm going to unpack. First of all, yes, he does have something coming out. A spy movie called Argyle with Henry Cavill.
Yes,
Samuel L. Jackson, Robert Delaney. Several of these people have been mouthing off. Gee, I wonder why. Now we know.
Not Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill's just busy working away on Warhammer.
So, yeah, he definitely has something. So, yeah, my gut was right. Probably PR for something. Get his name out there, and there we have it.
It's skirting the not able to do PR thing.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
His agent probably told him to do it. So, yeah. So I'm not going to say it was his idea. So one of his yes men told him to do it. But right here. So the future of Hollywood, blah, blah, blah. They should, this is business.
Yeah, this is okay. This is nothing newsworthy here. People's jobs have been being replaced by technology for over 100 years now. You could go to Walmart. They now have machines that clean the floor without the person writing it. They have machines that actually go down the aisles and scan what's in there to tell people in the back to come restock. How many people do you see at checkout stands at Walmart? Oh, wait, that's you doing your checkout now.
I prefer that. I don't like people handling my shit. I don't want to hear people going, I hate the self-checkout. No, I'm doing their job for them. No, I like doing it because I don't like people touching my crap. I don't know where that
but I mean, that's what that's what I'm saying is right now you could do ATM machines. Technology's evolving. Too. Yeah, they are.
I'm way faster than the freaking conveyor belt.
And I don't break my own eggs.
See, that's
so
why
this is nothing newsworthy. This is just what it is now. It's the
like I said,
celebrities are scared to death, or these writers and everybody else are scared to death that they're going to be
writers. I think the writers are more scared than the celebrities because, I mean, buying likenesses, that's nothing to do. All you got to go do is look on every cover of my Star Wars novels, and you'll see the likeness of Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher because they sold their likenesses to George Lucas for that 40 years ago.
Yes.
And that's just the way it was. So selling your likeness is nothing new. Now, the AI manipulating the voice, that is new. But you know what it's being used for right now? It's being used for memes and comedy. That's what it's being used for.
I'll disagree a little bit there. People are starting to use it for writing comics, starting to write stories because the AI is nailing things really good.
Okay, I'll add deep fake porn into that.
That too. But Angie,
I have not done that. I have not done that.
I have. I hate you for showing me that picture of her. But no, in all seriousness,
I've shown you lots of pictures of her.
These people were not afraid until they started going, our livelihoods are in danger. Well, you know what? Your livelihoods are in danger even more because you keep costing the studios billions of dollars. They know it. There was a time in Hollywood where if both the guilds went on strike at the same time, the studio heads were like, okay, how do we make this right? Now they're like, yes. How do we get rid of the people that have been costing us billions? And we now have it. They're breaking their own contract by striking.
Well, this is a culling. This is going to be a culling.
Yes, it is.
Culling of the writers. And it's going to be a restructuring of how to deal with these prima donna, self-righteous, virtue signaling actors.
And anybody that says, like, well, Disney's always been on the cutting edge of animation. And
why do you think they bought Pixar when they did that? I mean, Bob Iger, we may roast him all the time, but buying Pixar was a great move because it bolstered Disney's already then impressive animation studios. You got access to their technology, their artists, their idea men and women, and it was combining two good things. Now, though, what has ruined all that? The infection of ideology has ruined all of that because the animation quality is still there, but it's the soul that's gone.
Yes.
And you can attribute that to the loss of good leadership, the likes of John Lasseter, who got thrown under the bus for giving hugs. All right, let's keep going. Some part of Disney's Imagineering team, the group responsible for turning Disneyland and Walt Disney World into renowned attractions. Some are part. Sorry, I misread that. Some are part of the Imagineering team. One job for an R&D Imagineer focused on generative AI is looking for someone who has the ambition to push the limits of what AI tools can create and understand the difference between the voice of data and the voice of a designer, writer, or artist. The role will collaborate with third-party studios, universities, organizations, and developers to evaluate, adopt, and integrate the latest generative AI. The job promises a base salary of up to $180K per year with the possibility of bonuses or other compensation as well. Okay, when I look at that, all I see is pushing the needle of progress forward. Not turning over things to machines, but looking for people who know how to operate the machinery. Mustang, what happens in factories today? You have the people who operate the machinery.
Oh, yeah.
The machinery can't do it on its own. It's got to be somebody
smarter. What I'm seeing there is what Walt originally did. That is pretty much exactly what Walt originally did. This is somebody looking at it going, we need to get back to basics. This is somebody who is detached from this
cultural or ideological battle and realize, okay, it's going to take a while to get it to work. Let's get the best people out there now and get them working on making these AI tools so that we can create the next generation of animation.
Yeah.
That's what I see in this posting right here for a job.
Walt used to give bonuses out to anybody that made him laugh with any of the stuff they were doing on the shows, whether it made it into the movie or not. He gave a bonus for it. That's what I'm seeing. This is all Walt.
And what I'm seeing also is this is cutting down on the cost.
Yes.
Because CGI, all you got to do is look at every single MCU budget. Why do those budgets balloon? CGI. It's time for us to. CGI was the revolution of digital technology for special effects 20 years ago. It's time for a new one. And this could very well be the door through which this revolution comes through. Learning to manipulate these tools to save money and put out a better product. And that's what's been lacking in all these CGI heavy movies. You spend hundreds of millions of dollars for something that looks like it came off a PS2.
Well, where this is really going to save them a ton of money, as we've seen Shad do it, me when I'm not screwing around with the horrors, Jed's done it. We've all done we've done AI that is really, really good. Well, when you're doing AI that good, it cuts down on your storyboard labor because you got a free program on the internet that says, here's what you want to see. Then you give it to an Imagineer that can actually take that visual concept that the AI kicked out, put it to a pencil, and put it up on that storyboard, and you've got it done, and that's cut half the cost.
And using a new AI tool to animate it faster.
Correct.
I see nothing wrong with this.
This will not affect even the living, breathing human actors so much, because they still have to do the acting part of it.
Mm-hmm.
This just makes their job better, but unless you put in certain words, this is going to take a lot of the cultural war and say goodbye, because you've got to put in the prompts and the negative prompts. And the basic, so we don't get a really long one. Your positive prompts are what you want to see. Your negative prompts are things you do not want to see in the AI. Somebody that knows how to put them in there, as Jed and I have discussed, and I think I've showed it a couple times, my prompts are over 400 characters long. My negative prompts can be equally as long. And that's how I get some of the really beautiful AI that I do. The horror stuff, literally, that She-Hulk that everybody's scared to death of, I only put in 7 words, and they were the She-Hulk actress and grabbing crotch. And that's what I got.
Yeah, but you know what this is then? This is the new learn to code.
Yes, it is. That's what it is. C++.
This is the new learn to code. This is the new learn to code. Now, me as we're going to keep going here a second, but I should say, me as a writer, I'm not afraid of this because my original stories are my original stories, and my voice is my voice. And
I didn't even stop and think about it. You as a writer, when you want to illustrate your book, you can use the AI to get illustrations to send to a professional illustrator, cutting down on hundreds of hours. So it goes even into your aspect as a book writer of helping save.
Well, all I need is cover art. There's no illustrations in the book. It's just I want cover art. That's all I would need. But I'm not afraid of AI because I know that it's a tool. It's not coming up with these things. You still need the human brain behind all of this to come up with something. All right, let's keep going. Another role for the machine learning engineer is the Disney Streaming Advanced Research Division. It's responsible for creating AI-enabled solutions for Disney Plus, Star Plus, and ESPN Plus per the listing, and will use AI to work on advanced personalization efforts involving digital avatars. I think I understand what that means.
I kind of get what it means, but that
I
technology is probably 5 years out.
Yeah, and that is a weird one because, all right, fine, do that. Just sink more money to Disney Plus. That just shows you they're not going to abandon Disney Plus ever. They're not going
or
to.
ESPN.
Yeah. In total, THR spotted some half dozen AI-focused jobs at Disney. but the company is far from alone in exploring space. And here's where this makes this even interesting. We heard about Netflix a couple days ago, that Netflix made some headlines after The Intercept noticed an AI product manager promises compensation of up to $900K. That's
Not
a lot of
surprised.
money.
They've got a lot of animation on it on Netflix.
Well, and you know what? Netflix's successes, their successes have been in animation the most, I think. Oh, but they have had some flaws. I mean, we were talking about this before. The Castlevania stuff, really good. Voltron, Legendary Defender, started off so well, but then Agenda crept in and it tanked it hard, and they lost their narrative also with the storytelling. It got bad. So after like seasons 1, 2, and 3 were really good, 4 to 7 or 8, I think it went 8 episodes. That's when it fell apart. So, but it still looked pretty. But they've had a lot of success in animation. So I wouldn't. You're right. That's where they do a lot of good original work there.
Well, I've heard rumors they want to get into gaming too. So if that's true, then this would
I don't know
fit into that.
I mean, it's just rumors. Do they have that much money to go into it right now? Because they're not as bad off as some others, but they don't have. That's a lot of investment, especially when you're trying to break in. But look what happened to Amazon. Amazon can't get it right. Our business is driven by machine learning AI, which fuels innovation in content creation and acquisition, personalization, payment processing, and other revenue-centric incentives, the company writes in the listing. But Netflix has a number of job openings focused on AI and machine learning, dealing with video games, there you go, research, R&D, customer experiences, and other areas. In fact, nearly every studio owner seems to be thinking about AI, whether it's for content, customer service, data analysis, or other uses. Amazon and Apple, of course, have dozens of AI ML jobs because their companies won't function without it. They have to.
Yeah, they have to. They've had it from day one.
Yeah. Trust me, I've dealt with the Amazon AI before. It's not that bad because the Amazon AI for customer service, if you know how to talk to it, you can get to a real person pretty quickly. So it works pretty well. Every time I've had to deal with the Amazon AI to get to a real person, I successfully complete my customer service problem, and I usually get money. They usually give me money or give me my full refund for the thing. So I've never had. So I will say Amazon's AI works. Apple's AI is not that bad. It's a little annoying, but it's not that bad. Google's AI isn't bad either because I managed to manipulate it to getting to a real person once.
Unless you're talking YouTube.
No, it was YouTube.
Really?
Well, it was for Google AdSense. It was for AdSense. So technically, I was dealing with something YouTube related, but I got a real person. I got a real person. I'll tell you how to do it sometime. But some of these jobs appear specifically geared to their media businesses, like an Amazon job for senior project manager for Prime Video. Want to find the next big thing in localizing content, enhancing content, or making it accessible using state-of-the-art generative AI computer vision tech? This is for you, the listing blares, promising a base salary of up to $300K. And at Sony, this is what, again, perked me up for this. I see the word Sony. Sony, which owns Sony Pictures Entertainment, its Sony AI America division, is looking for AI ethics engineer. We believe in researching and developing AI technologies that empower the imagination and creativity of artists, makers, and creators around the world. Our aim is to advance AI so that it augments and works in harmony with humans to benefit society.
How many social justice buzzwords can you get in one paragraph?
As many as they need. Sony AI, the company notes, works closely with Sony's other business units, including Sony Interactive Entertainment, who I'm very familiar with, Sony Pictures Entertainment, and Sony Music Entertainment. The job pays base salary up to $160K. Ethics, it seems, isn't as lucrative as some other areas, but it's important. It's important. Got to make sure you're not using it for things that are, shady and sketchy. That's important. And the list goes on. Warner Brothers Discovery has a few AI and ML jobs open in its video game division, and in corporate, Paramount has an opening for a machine learning engineer in its CBS division, and NBC Universal. Ow, bit my tongue. NBC Universal owner Comcast has a number of AI ML jobs focused on research, customer service, and other areas. And hiring comes amid a larger job pullback as many of these companies. At many of these companies, Disney just finished laying off some 7K employees. We know about that. We covered it. And Paramount, Warner, Amazon, and others have had painful cuts in recent months, but jobs focused on AI appear to be an exception. Of course, the investment in AI should come as no surprise. Technology has taken all of corporate America by storm, and media companies are no exception when it comes to the trend hunting. But the role AI can play in future entertainment has caused much anxiety among the workers responsible for that content. And here we're getting into the strike. All right, before we get into that, all of this, again, I just see this as business. These are companies trying to get at the first wave of these people who are coming out there who are qualified for these jobs. And from a business perspective, I see nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, that's just doing business.
And if you are good at this shit, if you happen to be one of these people that actually put the time in to learn it, go get your payday, dude. Go get your payday. I wish I understood this shit, but my brain's not wired that way. It's like you've got a house and you need to redo the kitchen. You recently need to redo the bathroom. The master bedroom hasn't been redone in 40 years. You want to do all these things. Writer, director, and former actress Justine Bateman told THR's TV Top 5 podcast earlier this month. But Valerie, those of you get that. If you know, you know. But AI is the front door, and you can get all those things from AM Armpit. But if you don't get those strong restrictions on AI, you've just given them the key to the front door, and none of these other gains will matter. That's a very intelligent statement. It's basically saying, get the people to know how to do this shit. And if you're the first one to get a lockdown on it and make this shit work, you're going to be at the top. You're going to take advantage of it first. Again, business. I have no problem with this. It's also an area Iger, the strike's villain of the moment, is well aware of. In his first town hall after returning as Disney CEO last November, an employee asked Iger about how the company plans to adapt to fast-moving tech, referencing generative AI tech that was just becoming mainstream. Nothing is going to stop technological advancement, Iger said. We're adding, Disney has typically embraced new technology to tell better stories. Generative AI tech, Iger added, is something at some point in the future the company will embrace. AI arms race may be in the early stages, but the entertainment giants are all in the mix. And regardless of the deal they cut with the unions, AI appears poised to become part of the future. You can't escape advancement. You can't. It's coming no matter what. And all I see with this right here, it's technological progress. And if you're big business, taking all ideology out of the equation, if you're big business and those who still are there, understand that you need to make money. If you can't make money, your business goes under. And the next big thing is the AI tools. You see, that's the thing that I think gets lost in all this, Mustang. People say AI and they immediately go to thinking that it's going to be running on its own, doing shit. No, these are tools.
They have no idea what they do not understand the AI. I luckily do. But what I'm more shocked about is they let a Bateman talk.
Well, her brother's insane. Her brother's nuts.
Slightly.
Justine Bateman, I've heard some pretty base things from her over the years. So she seems to at least understand reality and not get lost in TDS like her brother. But Valerie's got her head on straight, I think, in terms of this. She understands this is business. It's about progress. And
it's simple.
Whoever is the first to get something is going to grow. I mean, whoever back in the day, the first the first publishers to get working printing presses. They got their things out faster. The Ford got the assembly line working. They made the cars faster.
Telegraph outdid the Pony Express.
Whoever got the first microchips, building bigger, better computers. Apple figured out smartphones first. That's why they're still here, because they figured it out first and built a consumer base. Yes, other ones sprouted around, but Apple was first. I mean, it's just that simple. If you're first, you make the initial money, you make the initial splash, and you become the one people remember, the one people go to first. And in this case, if you're the first to hire the smart people who understand how to manipulate the tools, because the AI are just tools, you're going to save money. You're going to put out a higher quality, likely once they master it, put out a higher quality product. And you're going to put a lot of people who are, frankly, of the lowest quality caliber, the lowest caliber out there, who never deserved to be in a creative aspect in the first place. If they get pushed aside, then that's how it's supposed to be, because they shouldn't have been doing anyway. And all you got to do is look at what's going on these days. Everything looks like shit. And if this brings us a new era of things looking nice, then that's just where we're going.
It could be a step, but I still look at it and understanding the process. You have your writers. When they write something, they should be the first editor, the first proof saying, how does this sound to everybody? When you're writing for something and you want to make money, you never want to alienate your customers. Well, then it should go to the editor. And then it should go to the assistant director, to the director, to the producer. There's so many hands that need to touch it and see it. And if anybody along the way says, no, this is going to alienate even a small fraction of the audience, it should never be made.
But that's the problem. Nobody says or thinks that anymore. It's the thought process up until now has been, they're going to like the ideology, they're going to take it, they're going to eat it, and they're going to thank us for it because they got no place else to go.
Yes.
Now, here's the other thing. And as I'll close out on this, it's not just big business that's getting their hands on it. You've already alluded to it when we're talking about this. Regular Joes, us regular independent folk, have our hands on some of this stuff and are learning to use it at very rapid rates. It's not just a race for the big companies to do it. Independent sphere going to make very good use of this stuff and continue to be the legitimate competitor for customers. Key word, customers. In a lot of cases, especially on something like YouTube, we could put it out for free. Now, we may be asking you to pay for future products, but we're entertaining you first with our attempts or practices in some cases. And we've earned your trust and support. So then if we're applying these skills to something we want to sell you, we've already built a relationship with you with the customer. And you're very happy to support us. And what has Disney done? Just as the prime example, Disney has destroyed the bridges that they held for decades, nearly 100 years. They're getting ready to celebrate the 100th anniversary. And they have burned, I would say, upwards of 60 to 80% of the bridges, maybe more.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the difference. People, like you said throughout this whole entire conversation, Mustang, or no, previous conversation, the trust is gone. The trust is gone because they don't talk to them like a customer anymore. They talk to them like a drooling zombie that they expect to have their mouth open and take it all in and then say thank you. Problem is, no one's there to say thank you because we're gone. The real customers have moved on. and they're going to be looking to other options. So this advancement in AI tools is not just in the big business, it is on the smaller independent scale as well. And I look forward to seeing that go forward because, in my opinion, the independent sphere is much hungrier than the corporate legacy sphere. They're much hungrier. They're putting in more work, more hours. They are connected with their audiences. They want to. They listening to what they say. They know what they want. And in the end, I know they're afraid of the independent sphere because it takes us much less time to put out products, especially free entertainment products like this. And it takes them years. And when something like this strike happens, they're handicapped. They can't do a damn thing. All right, I'm done with this. So yeah, this is fascinating. I think it's kind of cool just because I like seeing advancements and stuff. And it always leads to a change. And even though I'm not always the biggest fan of change in this kind of thing, I would love to see fancy visual effects that don't make me cringe at this point. I want that uncanny valley to shrink once more, like it used to be.
I think they're going to have to sooner or later wake up, and I think Eric is probably the biggest wake-up call to him.
Yeah.
If you do not stay in touch with your fans, listen to your customers, and try and get everybody as your customer, you're going to go down. Eric's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow.
Yeah.
Jay's going to continue to grow and grow.
Again,
why? Because they don't yell and scream at their customers. They don't alienate anybody. They're open to everybody. Eric, if you were to send him a message, I would bet if he saw it, he might respond to it. If he's not
my style,
driving the forklift. No, but I'm saying he actually does pay attention. I see Jay answering people that are getting his comics saying thank you, and Jay's answering them. It's things like that was one of my biggest things. Part of my job was massively customer service, dealing with them. When a job was done, I always went and saw the customer. And then I would follow through in 30 days, 90 days, make sure everything was going good. I didn't have to do that. I could have said, okay, I got a million other things on my plate, but I made sure my customers, they never knew my politics, never knew my religion, but they knew that I was there for them and that I cared about what was going on. And that's something that's been lost with entertainment is they forgot the customer, us. They forgot us. That's the sad part. They have forgot all of us.
Yeah. And Eric July, he touched on one of the most important things that is, I think, if you have the product ready to go.
Yes.
Now, I'm a firm believer in that, and at least out of the gate, my product is ready to go in terms of completion. It's done. It's been done. But I believe that you don't want to keep somebody waiting, and that's been a lot of problem with some independent sphere of the independent sphere is a lot of promise and no delivery or very late delivery, where the excitement is long since worn off. So Eric July wisely watched and understood if I'm going to promise something, it needs to be done and it needs to come out in a short amount of time. Now, fortunately, in Eric's case, he also he is a man of many talents, so he was able to build up a war chest to really get his whole company off the ground right away. Unlike myself, who I need to build that war chest still, even with so and of course, complete apples and oranges. A comic and all the bells and whistles that goes along with that, completely different to just me writing a book. Completely different. I mean, I would love to one day have merch to go with stuff, but that's a long distance what if. Hell, I don't even have merch for this channel yet. mean, I know exactly what I do, but I don't feel like I don't feel like it's worth it yet because I don't know. I don't feel, I know a couple of you might want to buy it, but I just don't think there's a market for my merch yet. I just don't think it's not there yet. I try to be realistic and like I said before, when talking about Paramount, I like to be conservative with my expectations of stuff, and I feel like it's just not time for a merch thing. So one day though, I hope one day I hope we get there. I hope we get there. I hope. Well, I want to believe we will, but it's the journey is still ahead of us to get anywhere. And as I always say, the only jealousy I hold for basically for Eric is the fact that he saw this coming long before I did, and that he was ready to go at this beginning of this Iron Age. And I'm still standing at the starting line. That's the only jealousy I hold, is that he saw it coming and he was ready for it. I wish I could be in the production stage like he is. That's it. And I think it's not an angry jealousy. It's just it's the jealousy of, damn it, I want to be a part of this, and I wish I'd had that kind of foresight. 2, 3, I've been at this 2 years. I wish I'd had this foresight 5 years ago instead of doing all the shit I did. Wish I did. But hey, here we are. We're here, and we're gonna keep fighting. All right. I think that's all I had to talk about tonight. And since Mustang was the only one with us this evening, we have not droned on too long. Yeah, I mean, we'll be talking about this AI thing again on Sunday, because see how the rest of the panel reacts to it there, but we won't spend as long as we did tonight on this. Hail, Alice man. Yeah, we're kind of winding down. You'll have to watch the replay while the stream stops. Although if you wait till tomorrow, you'll get a edited down version, maybe, of what we just talked about. I don't know. I'll see how it looks when I look at it this morning. There was no ranting. Were we ranting tonight?
No, we were just discussing.
No, this was a calm conversation. There was no ranting. You want to hear ranting? Wait till you watch Jed's cuts of us watching that show today. They'll be ranting. Then you'll get ranting. I did no rants tonight.
No, this is actually discussing the possibilities of the future. That's kind of a fun topic.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, it's interesting. Let's see. Do I have anything else? Anything come up? And this is no. I think I'm out of topics. We've been at this for a little over an hour, which is about what we do for a natural 20. If there's only a couple of us here, we don't have the full people coming in. And this was a last notice thing. I decided this thing last minute in the afternoon because just
surprised you and I had anything left in us for tonight.
Oh, I had dinner. I'm fine. I recharged on dinner. You guys are taking this all much harder than I am watching that shit. You know, like, I guess I have a better tolerance than all of you.
It had nothing to do with tolerance.
And you can't say I didn't watch it because I watched all 5 episodes of Volume 1 yesterday in a row. All right, I watched it all. I started watching you guys bitching about it, but then I realized, no, I got to actually see this to understand it. I have to actually see this. So I watched all 5 of them back to back. So I've watched all of Witcher season 3 in the past 24 hours now.
All I want to know is how many minutes was Henry actually in the entire thing? Because if it's 20 minutes, I'm going to be shocked.
You mean all 8 episodes?
All 8 episodes.
I think you put all 8 episodes together, he's probably at least in it for an hour. If you put it all together,
generous.
Because there are times where he's talking and he's just on screen, or he's lying there and he's talking some more,
or he's lying there and he's talking some more,
or he's lying there
and talking some more.
I mean, let's be honest. In episode 5, he was in the ball episode. He was in the entire episode in the ball. He was in the whole episode, so he was there.
No, the song was there.
Well, but he was there. You just did heading him there, and he was there the entire episode. So I mean, he was. But Yennefer had way more screen time overall, no doubt. Siri on today, episode 7 today, that episode alone, it was all her and that desert shit.
Okay, I don't have a problem with Siri being in an episode, but I just keep going back to what we found out before, that they were trying to make the girls ugly, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, with that in mind, watching Yennefer's progression over all 8, I'm like, yeah, they did. They started her out pretty, and then they made her ugly.
A lot of it was the hairstyle. Hair is a big deal.
Yes, I agree. Hot,
and just having it hang there with no style was terrible. It wasn't hot, and they dressed her down too, except for that. I guess we'll call it a dress for episode 5 in the first part. She was dressed down the entire season.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know we've got. Is it Saturday? He's doing it.
Oh, Saturday. Yeah, he's gonna do a stream on it after drive-in, which after thinking of it, I'm probably gonna do because it's hamburger night and I'm gonna want to make hamburgers after. So I'm not gonna be a part of that. I said ask me again tomorrow on Saturday and I'll tell him I'm not gonna do that stream. I after drive-in, I'm gonna want to eat dinner. I'm gonna want to eat dinner after drive-in, and he's lining it up so that it gets in right in between what we're doing and some of the other shows that are happening that night, which are all locked in so that nothing overlaps. So he's not going to delay it for me to eat dinner, and I want my hamburger.
And you want nothing more to do with this.
Well,
you're smart. Admit it.
Well, with this, I've done my part. Jed asked me to help out, and I did it. And I owed him from not being there on the first one. But sorry, weird hiccup again. There's no telling what he'll do to blackmail or guilt me into season 4 when it happens. You never know.
I think those are on Jay Fraser.
Jay Fraser. Yeah, Writer's Corner is on Jed's channel. I love being a part of ours, and I will be a part of future Writer's Corners. That's just a matter of time. Jed's been reorganizing his channel, so his streaming and Jed's streaming hours are limited because he's constantly working on G&G streams. So, and Jeremy keeps him up to all fucking hours with Cobra Cast. So, Jed, it's hard for him to get a stream done. That's why we did the recordings today, because it's technically a stream, but it's just recorded on our time. And he can break it down into videos. But the Writer's Corner would be great. Also, I think part of the thing is that none of us have done any writing for a while. We're all been YouTubing. I mean, personally, for me is, honestly, I should have been finished with the next book. I should have been finished with it, but I sink so much time into trying to make the channel work that it consumes my every waking hour when I'm not doing it, just trying to figure out what to do to try and get the channel to the next level. So it consumes me. And if my mind is so focused on that, I can't get in the mental space to sit down and put out the product. And it's all up here, or at least the first third of the book is up here. I'm still having a couple problems with the middle part, but
a lot of people don't understand what it takes to put out content on a YouTube channel. They think, oh, you just sit in front of a mic and do it. No, it's actually a lot of work.
Well, we all do different. It's all different for all of us. For me, the majority of the time is looking for something to talk about, because I just can't grab something and throw it out there for a 4-minute video, because that's not how I've tailored the channel. Since day one, I've tailored this channel where if I'm going to talk about something, one, I need to know about it, and I need to care about it, and it means I need to have something to say about it. And that could take upwards of, when I'm recording, it could go as long as 15, maybe even 20 minutes. I try to keep it under 20, is around between 10 and 15 if it goes that long. But that means I see it as me. When I make a video, now everybody watching videos, I think you understand this. When I make a video, I feel as though once I've kind of given you the topic, which may be a topic of the day. I then want to spend the remainder of the video having a discussion with you. I want to talk to you about it. I want to share some thoughts about it. I want to ponder things with you, and I want to expand on it. I don't just tell you what happened, make it go, and then go get out. That's not how I do the channel. And has that been maybe detrimental to my channel's growth? Perhaps, because people generally like short, quick videos, and maybe they don't want to hang out for anything over nine minutes. And I put out 8-9 minute videos all the time, but nobody maybe want to hang out for a 15-minute video. I mean, today's video from what Mustang and I talked about yesterday on Natural 20, the regular Natural 20, the original version of that was over 30 minutes long. I managed to pare it down to about 24 minutes with careful editing and selective editing, because at one point we were talking about shit that had nothing to do with the article we were going over. So I take that stuff out, or other things where maybe I ramble. Maybe if it's I ramble too much on something, I'll take that out. Or if I've repeated myself too many times, something, I'll take that out. But it takes time. I mean, I did that. It took me about well, I had to watch the whole thing. So that's easily half an hour. But then within all the editing, it's another 15-20 minutes. So even taking a cut from a stream from yesterday that's done, it still took me 45 minutes to an hour to edit it into something that's acceptable. So there's that. But then also, as much as I was saying, sitting down and doing a video, we all have our different styles. My style is when you guys see me sit down and I'm looking right at you in the camera and I start talking, all I have is kind of a checkpoint in my head about what I want to talk about, where I want to go, and I just go. And what flows, flows. And sometimes I'll get it in one take. Sometimes I'll start off, I'll get halfway through and realize, shit, I either forgot something or I have rambled away from where I want to focus. So I got to start over, and I will lose maybe the random fresh things I said in the previous version. They won't come back. Some things will stick, like a joke or two, if I remember to do it. But that's how my process is. And I go until I'm done. And it just so happens I usually am done anywhere between 8 and 15 minutes. I'm done. I get it. It's great. I will edit it up. Maybe I'll cut a little bit out. I'll throw in a clip here or there. I'll throw in some things that'll fly across the screen, this and that, just to make bullet points of what I'm talking about. But that's my style. Some people need to sit down and write scripts, or they need to really go over their list. They need to write it down, they need to go over it, and then go. And it's then a super edit job, because then they start and they stop and they put it together, or they have editing teams that put it together. And then there are some people who don't even go on camera and are maybe reading off a script the entire time. And then, so there's a lot that goes into this stuff. And then you have to understand, excuse me 1 second, I really got to blow my nose.
And with my style, as Adam said, I script everything out, partly because if I ever have a problem with YouTube saying it's not original, which is one of their favorite little toys, I can say I have the original script. It's completely different. Plus, for me, being in a business all my life, paperwork, have that trail. So it's easy for me to write everything down, then do the video.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I thought you were finished.
But most people know I've been working on Where the Red Fern Grows. I've been working on it for 3 weeks now. That one's going to be something special. I'm trying to line out, and I'll share it right now. I'm trying to line out and go on actually back on location where the movie was filmed with the people who own the property and doing a little bit of interviewing about it, because I actually do know them and have access to that property still.
Yeah, and Mustang likes to use clips. He likes to use stuff like that, and that's a obstacle course all on its own, a gauntlet all on its own. When
the copyright involved. That's it. Getting for copyright. And hang on a second, I believe there's a 6-1 chat there. Thanks to Legata saying that. I don't see that on the StreamYard. They just did a StreamYard update, but they didn't include member chats. Yeah, I don't see it either.
Well, that's in Studio. I have to go to Studio. I had for some reason I closed the Studio. Thank you, Algrim the Strong member chat for 6 months at the Guardian level. As a fellow burger fanatic, please Educate us all with your best recipe, good Sir Nerd King Chef. Salute, sword, shield, and a toast. I'm a simple man when it comes to my burgers. I get the fresh meat, although I bought the meat last week. It's been in the freezer, so because I didn't know when I was going to be going out this weekend. I was supposed to go out on Sunday, but now I'm going out on Saturday, so I wanted to make sure the meat was going to be there for Saturday. But it holds; it defrosts perfectly fine, still nice and pink. I get fresh meat. I get 90-10 meat from my supermarket. It's still good beef. Now, some people might hold their nose with me. I like my meat well done, but when I make my meat well done, it's still nice and juicy and tastes great. I basically flatten my burger to the extreme because it's going to contract anyway, and that way it's a faster cook for a well done. I also have a griddle pan that I use, so I don't put any other fat in the griddle pan. I just use the fat from the meat. So I slap it down there, it cooks on its own meat, cooks in its own fat, flip it over, cross hatching to make it all nice line up. And I just go until the juice runs clear when I'm doing it. Now, if I'm making a beef burger for somebody else, they they um they want it rare, medium well. It's all about watching the juice color. I don't time anything. I just look for the color of the juice. Give it a little squeeze. It's a spatula with slots in it, so I can see the juice come straight up through it, and that's how I keep track of it. And then it comes out. Slap it on the plate. I just put ketchup and mustard on it. Get some pickles. Let some potatoes to go with it. And I'm a happy camper. Very simple. Now, if I'm doing buns, if I'm doing a bun, I'll make a smaller burger and I will get the bun. I will toast the bun. I'll do grilled cheese style. Get a pan. I'll melt some butter. I'll pour it on the bun itself, or I'll use a brush to get it on there, and I'll just slap it on the pan, a hot pan, regular hot pan, and it will get get that nice little brown. So I will butter a bun and toast a bun if I have a bun, but it's just I don't really need a bun because also I'm not really moving. I'm good the way it is. So that's my burger making technique and style. Very simple, very plain. And when I make the burger, just salt and pepper. Just salt and pepper. Good. When I make meat, if it's not going through a breading procedure, salt and pepper. Just this is the way it tastes. Good. Salt and pepper will get the job done. So I hope that is a worthy answer to your 6-month member message. Thank you, my friend, for supporting the channel for that long. So back to what we were talking about on the YouTube front. Like Mustang said, what we're talking about, when you are putting in clips and stuff like that, that's a gauntlet all its own. If you guys watch any of my long form reviews, my style for that, and most recent ones, you can check out the Picard review. Those are my most recent reviews. I've developed a clip insertion style that completely gets past the YouTube algorithm censors. If you keep as long as my clips are anywhere from 10 to, if I really stretch it, you can get to 16, maybe 17 seconds. But I usually keep it between 10 and 15 seconds. The algorithm doesn't care. It will overlook it. And if you place them throughout it kind of feels like the algorithm sees it as fair use. And also, especially with my intros, I'll throw out a 10 to 50 second clip, and then it's me making a joke. And then we're into the title sequence, and then we're going in. And also, I use those clips as segues to segments because, like I've explained to you, when I turn on the camera, it's me going. I'm going right at it. I'm trying to say what I want to say. Now, for a review that could take up to 45 minutes total, I can't go for 45 minutes straight. I need to stop, and I need to collect myself. I need to assess what I've said so far. That's why sometimes I'll break shows into certain segments so I can get those natural transitions and use a clip to get there. But that's my style of clip usage. Now, some people also will run larger clips and they'll get hit for copyright and they'll fight it for fair use. They have some good arguments and everybody get by. I don't even test that. I'm very, as to use again the line in the night, I'm very conservative in my approach. I play it safe for these things. That's why whenever I do a trailer breakdown, if I hear it's got music in it, I'm not even going to touch it because it will hit you for the music without blinking. And if it's for a long form one, well, it depends on the company. If you do anything Disney, they don't really give a shit. You can do a trailer all day long and Disney won't care. But something for another company, they might have a problem with. That's why I will stop it and I will talk excessively about what I saw, so I hit the fair use qualifications. And I also take if you go to all my videos, all of them, once a long time ago, I found somebody who did some videos and they had a legal paragraph based upon fair use clause. I just copy and paste that in my description every time, just for a safety net. And it seems to work. I only ever get hit on a copyright claim if it's music, or we got hit for the walk-in thing on Monday because there was some music in there, but it was for the music. So we got hit for that, but so I just cut it out because it really wasn't important what we're talking about. But generally, unless it's something major, like don't we learned this way back on the very first Mellow Mondays, don't watch 80s commercials.
No shit.
Don't watch 80s TV intros, even though it's like, just why? That will get you hit. Even if you stop it and try to do fair use, they'll still hit you. So that's the kind of stuff. So that's how the YouTube thing works. So when Mustang says it's not easy, no, a lot of work goes into it. And those of us like me, I mean, Mustang's doing it as a hobby. I'm doing it as a living, or I'm trying to really make it a living so it can support me as I try to get to the next stage with the books and making this, and so we can earn enough and get enough going so I can open a small publishing company. I think all the time about this channel. I'm always thinking about, are you guys being entertained? Am I doing the right thing with the way I'm structuring the channel? Is the content I'm doing really what I should be doing? Should I go something a little more cheap and easy to try and grab? But then am I going to lose myself to it? Am I going to lose the core audience I've already built because I'm breaking from the discussion method that we've built our rapport on? And I'm always thinking about that. I'm always thinking about, okay, streams. What we got coming up for streams? What are we doing here? Is the internet going to provide me with something to talk about this week? Because like I said, the majority of my time is spent looking for things, which is why this week you've seen clips from previous streams, because it's been a light week. I mean, all due respect to Yellow Flash and Ryan RK Outpost, they have very large channels, so they can kind of get away with it, but they're also sort of news channels, so they can grab from a lot of different things and just run with it. I can't do that. I don't have the reach. And when I say reach, I mean I don't have the attention of enough people to just draw that kind of thing in. And also, as interesting as it was, I don't want to talk about some of those things they bring up because it doesn't feature into what this channel is about. Nerd shit, real nerd shit all the time. And it's about shit that I understand, what I can talk about. So it's not about talking about every little aspect of the pop culture war. I hope that makes sense. And I want to keep giving you guys the level of discussion content that I've been putting out. I like to think since the very beginning. Those first few months were a little rough as I tried to develop. I went through a lot of different intros, settling on the howdy and the salute, and then settling on my outro rant, because I do believe the concept. Quick intro, get into it. I could say a bunch of shit at the end. If people have sat all the way to the end of the video, they'll either stop it right there or they'll watch the whole thing and they'll maybe catch the funny change or joke I added at the very end there. That's a side point, but it was rough. But I've always felt that I like the discussion format in my videos. It's what I'm comfortable doing, and I hope I believe you guys always talk about it. It's the organic, natural, authentic feeling that comes off, and sticking to things that I fucking know too. Not talking about shit I don't know. So, and also the reviews. When we get to the review season's coming up. Review season begins in a few short weeks, guys. We got a lot of stuff. We're gonna have a lot of fun on it, and I will uphold our bargain. I watch it, so you don't have to. Ooh, now my mouth is burning. Anything else you want to add to that, Mustang?
No, I think you pretty much covered everything. I'm just with my channel, I'm doing it because it's something I'm loving. I'm growing slowly. People are coming, and I'm actually getting comments offline from people that I know that they're really liking it because they miss it and they forget a lot about it. And it's like I told Jed a couple days ago. If I make enough for grocery money, I'll be ecstatic. If I grow to the size of Gary, well, I'm gonna have to get a better accountant.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the larger channels, and the difference I see is that they waited for years. They were not overnight successes, and the people that feel like they were overnight successes, they got help from those channels. There's no doubt that a lot of our favorite YouTubers now they got help. Plain and simple. Do I wish I had help? Yeah, sure. Of course I do. I wish I could get a leg up or a shout out, but that's not how my life is worked out as a YouTuber. These 2,600 odd subs that I have right now, those of you who have been here since the beginning and who are here every week and every stream, every video, you guys got me here because you showed up and I managed to retain your interest and your support. But no one else has. It's just been me and this level of the network that I've helped either build in some cases or become a part of. I mean, I was talking about this I think 2 Mondays ago when a bunch of the guys were on. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd fall into hanging out with a bunch of members from the Legion of Memers. That was never something I thought was going to be a thing. But here I am. I hang out with a handful of them. And yes, that puts me in very close crosshairs a lot. I have to be very careful with what I do and say because I am always this close to being memed. This close. And when it happens, and I take my lumps like everybody else does. But this YouTube world is an interesting place. You meet people you never think. And I'm not going to really say much on it, but there's been a couple times when a couple of the bigger names have almost been on a couple of shows. And we have Jed to thank for that because Jed's the one with the connections. But we've come real close to having a couple of really special guests for some of the shows. It's been really close. Would that have changed things? I don't know. I've always been the believer. It's really great if they come on your channel, but you want to be the one invited onto their channel because that's where their audience is. And I see their audience is the same as you guys. You guys are just part of the small. You guys are just the ones of the bigger audiences that have found me at this point. And again, I appreciate everything that you guys do. And the frustrating thing, like I said though, with the bigger channels, as I was trying to say, I think before I went off on a small tangent there, they waited for years and they got there, but they also work day jobs. My day job doesn't really much exist at this point. I'm trying to make this work in this gig economy because of the way my life was worked out. And I have no one to blame but myself for my choices in my life. And I blame a couple of people, but I take the majority of the responsibility for my choices in my life and where I am. I'm trying to fix that, and this channel is part of it. And do I wish I was farther along than I am right here now in these 2 years? Yeah, of course I do. I wish I'd caught fire on some things. I've said this, Mustang to me say this. I wish I had the channel in 2018 or 2019 when Last Jedi came out. That would have been my window for instant growth with Last Jedi as the Star Wars guy you know me to be. That would have been my moment, but I was just, when the room was altered, I was sitting over there. I was sitting over there in front of the computer just watching what was going on all the channels, not being a participant. But here we are. And I regret nothing. And I gotta believe that it's gonna click because you guys are still here after all this time, I would be lying if it wasn't frustrating, but unlike the bigger channels who are just there as entertainment networks for you guys on stuff, I do have something I want to give back to you. I have books. I have stories I want to tell you. The YouTube channel is just part of everything. Just like Eric July. That's just part of it. I want to contribute to the things we've lost. I don't want to so much, when I say replace them, I don't mean that they're gone forever. I just mean you can't have new from the favorite IPs anymore. So here's something new from me, and I hope you enjoy it. And I do believe you guys will enjoy what stories I have to tell. They might not be the deepest of stories. They might not be the most make you think stories. I mean, they will not be like Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time. That just happened on one world. I'm going to go to many worlds, but in terms of the thickness and the depth, and the intricate detail, it's not like that. While there'll be mysteries in some of the stories I write, I'm not going to drag on mysteries. I'll leave you breadcrumbs for where things are going to be going, and if you guys figure it out, that's going to be awesome. If you see if you figured out the bread comes way ahead of time, but everything's connected. It's a universe I'm building, not just one world. And I want to give you just fun, high fantasy adventure with great characters and fun stories that you could always just go back to and sit down and have a good time. Just sit down, have a good time, read it. You'll have your favorite, what I hope to be epic moments, and that's what I want to deliver to you. I don't want to deliver to you something that's gonna leave you wondering or this or that. I want to just give you fun, and I think I will. But I see that, and that's the difference between me and some of the bigger channels. Their whole thing is the channel and the content, providing you with great content and great entertainment, great shows. I want to do that, but then I also have something more. I want to go beyond just that, and I want you guys there with me. Jay Fraser, if Drinker ever finds out who I am and invites me on an open bar, you don't refuse the Drinker when the Drinker calls. You don't do that. And also, I respect the Drinker because the Drinker is an author as well, and it's a different genre than me. It's spy thriller stuff, completely different genre, completely different how stuff works. But that would be cool. That would be cool. Because I haven't listened to an open bar once yet where I couldn't contribute in some way, shape, or form in the discussions being had. So if Drink ever finds out who I am, I would be happy to answer his call. And maybe one day that happens, maybe it doesn't. But I want to continue to grow with the fellows that I work out with now every week on this. We are here for each other, and that's why we're all on each other's streams. We all do the same shit, and we all have fun. We like it because we're another tier of all this. I mean, you got FNT up there, Geeks and Gamers up there. That's the higher tier right now. They weren't always up there. They were down here once, and I'm not saying we're ever going to replace them. I'm just simply saying that you build your section, and then your section interacts with the other sections, and you make YouTube magic and YouTube gold. And that's where we just want to. We just want to keep entertaining you. And yeah, it's very easy to blame Jeremy. In some way, shape, or form, it is his fault somehow. Very little bastard. I know you're listening. You're working and you're bored. So I know you're listening.
Yeah, if he hasn't passed out from the heat.
Well, as I said during the recording today, that's a him problem. That's a him problem. That's not my problem. I am in this air-conditioned room with a water on hand. I've been indulging myself during my recovery, drinking way more soda. Well, not bad. Coke Zero. I've been drinking way more than I normally do. Hey there, MK Ultra dude. How you doing, man? Check out MK Ultra as he and Sheila Aliens are deep diving on Mecha Random. That's some funny stuff right there. That's some
God.
And I may or may not see him on Bubbles tomorrow night, but those guys I believe have an open invitation. So hey there, MK Ultra. Check out him and Sheila Aliens on their channel, roasting that shit. But yeah, so I'm comfortable right now. But I've been abusing my Coke Zero. Usually when I was fully well, I would only drink it on the weekends. But during this recovery period, because I just wanted to enjoy stuff, I've been drinking it every day, just like one can, but still, I've been indulging myself. The indulgence ends this weekend though, because like I said, I'm at 80% right now in my recovery. I'll be so as I get back really to full normal, it's gonna get put back to just weekends. But I've been indulging myself since I don't eat desserts right now. So.
I'm going to be a glutton tomorrow.
Well, don't come crying to me when you have gas.
Well, I got that every day.
All right. Well, that was an interesting tangent to take us through there. That chick's a trip, dude. She's weird. I never liked her in the first place, as I've said. So I don't care if anybody knows that.
If it wasn't for the knockers, she wouldn't have a channel.
They're not even good knockers, dude. Those aren't good knockers. No. All right. That was an interesting tangent on the way out there. So we've been going, oh, wow. Yeah, that ate up a lot of time there.
Wow, almost 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, that last tangent went on for a while. And I hope you guys enjoy when we talk a little YouTube shop, because we hope if you're trying to start up a YouTube channel, that's what goes into it. And it's also floopies. It's if you find the right people to do this stuff with. I mean, for the longest time, for the first year, I was basically solo, and I was okay. But once you find people to hang out with and have a good time with on YouTube, it becomes fun. And honestly, it may be a degenerate mess, but being on Ballbusters, you laugh a lot on Ballbusters. I laugh a lot on Ballbusters. It's a degenerate mess over there, a degenerate gay mess, but I laugh a lot, and it's fun to do it. I mean, you just got to show up 11 p.m. Eastern on Dermy Wormy's channel. He has topics that we never let him get to. We actively derail him and take it in places that it shouldn't go. And predictably, a lot of things happen. And I promised I wouldn't say this right now, and I will. I am going to go dormant on it. I'm not going to bother with it for a while. And Jeremy, I know you're probably listening, but it's the truth. It is your mission, chat, in some way, shape, or form. Not through necessary super chats, because he changed the rules because I made him afraid. Dermy refuses to say the words Big Daddy. He won't say Big Daddy. We've been flogging him for it for a week now, and originally it was $50 from anybody or $50 from certain people to make him say it. Now it's only me. Only I can pay him $50 to make him say it, which of course I'm not going to do. I will never do that. But it doesn't mean that through chats and other things, you guys can't do it. So if you're on a Dermy Wormy stream, whether it's for while it's still going, because his late night mayhem stream is a temporary thing. As soon as his schedule is back to normal, he's going to stop doing that, and then we will return with Anime Odyssey, revamped for your pleasure. We try and get him to say, not necessarily you can get him to say Big and Daddy separately, because just remember, the Legion is always watching and always recording. And it's only a matter of time, Dermy, until Big Daddy happens. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not even next week or next month. But it will happen. And you'll never see it coming. No, Jay Fraser, probably not. I have very little interest in Babylon 5. Since I think you're relatively new to the channel, my history of Babylon 5 is I was there at the premiere. I watched it, and I liked it. And I watched it in its original run. And then I watched it over and over again for years when it was syndicated on TNT. And then I watched it again and again and again. I have done a full watch through of Babylon 5 from beginning to end, probably upwards between 9 and 12 times at this point in the past 25 odd years. So I've kind of had enough of Babylon 5. It doesn't hold a place in my sci-fi heart like like Stargate does, or like Star Trek does, or Star Wars does. I liked it, but I've watched it so much, and I recently watched it during the coof. My last rewatch was during the coof. I did the full rewatch. I skipped over a lot of the filler because I just couldn't take it anymore. Great story, but it's just I've had enough. So I am not the place to go for Babylon 5 at this point. Even if it is just a I think that what it's a road home where they're going to be monkeying with the timeline or something. So yeah,
It's animated as well.
Yeah, animated. Yeah. So I've had enough Babylon 5 to last me my lifetime. So
and I've had a couple people ask me too because they know my connection with Mira. Mm-hmm. No way in hell am I going to review that. That's not Babylon 5.
Yeah, and JMS, he doesn't have that spark anymore. That's why when the reboot was being put it around on CW before CW got sold, my videos got ratioed hard by the B5 fan. The B5 fans, they did not like me because I was saying, don't do it. We don't need it. We're not asking for it. They're like, shut up, you. Shut up.
Okay, I don't get that. I'm more of a B5 fan than probably 99% of the people out there because of that connection. I would like to see it done right, but it cannot be B5. It needs to be the Rangers. If anything beyond the Rangers, I'm not going to care.
Here's the reason B5 eventually lost it for me, and MK, I'll get your question in a second. The whole kerfuffle between the end of season 4 and season 5 when they thought they were canceled and not canceled, and basically that episode that told the entire future of humanity up until where they go Vorlon and move on. That kind of ruined it for him and everything after that, it's like you're telling me prequel stories. I know the stakes are limited, and I know who wins and who dies and who survives. It lost meaning for me. That's when it really lost meaning for me. Like, I will not watch season 5 of Babylon 5 anymore, even on previous rewatches, because it's kind of a pointless season to me. It holds no funny. I'll skip right to the final episode where Shepard gets taken away by the first ones and all that stuff. That's when I'll do that. But so watching the spinoff, watching the movies. Even Rangers, the magic is gone because I know where it all goes. Man. Humanity is going to be driven back to the Stone Age until they could rise again and evolve to a Vorlon energy state. Magic is gone for me. Godzilla. I will watch this next Godzilla Kong movie. I wonder what Apple's really going to do with their TV show. Mustang's really hot for the Toho Godzilla. So once he watches that and wants to talk about it, I'm sure we'll talk about it. I just kind of my biggest fear is, again, there are too many humans in my Godzilla movies.
There's too many humans, and upsizing Kong to Godzilla size. Yeah.
You've heard us rant on that before. I mean, that was
stupid.
Yeah. Well, people they have this thing that we wanted to see Godzilla versus Kong. I didn't want to see Godzilla versus Kong. I want to see Godzilla versus Gigan. That's what I want to see. So we'll talk about it. It'll be probably from different directions. It'll be discussed, and we have to see what that Apple show is even about. It's been so murky what they're doing connected to the movie, so I don't know. But we'll talk about it. It'll happen.
That might be something that isn't woke and crazy, because that's a new company wanting to really break into it. They want everybody. Apple's
biggest problem is that nobody cares that Apple has a network or a streaming service. Nobody cares. I watched a couple of things on it, and I got tired. Like, I tried watching season 1 when it aired with Momoa and a bunch of people, and it got boring for me. And then when I realized the messaging was the only person that has actual vision in the world is the black dude who will just make black babies all over the place, I just thought, yeah, okay, I see what you're doing there. Down with white people. No thanks. I'm gone. Oh yeah, sure, dude, no problem. Oh yeah, you can you know what, MK, DM me on X. I'll get you in the DM room so you can get the links. DM me on X. I'll get you in there. So you can so that when the links go out for these things, you can pop on in if you have the time. because that's how it works. That's how it works with Natural 20. That's how it works with Mellow Mondays. The link is out there, and whoever can come in can come in. So DM me, and I will get you in the room where the links go out, so that you can join in on the Nerd Fest when that happens. So it would likely happen on a Mellow Monday. So if that would so it happens, if you see it going on, then you can pop in and you can join the Nerd Fest. Because remember, guys, that's what Mellow Mondays is supposed to be. It's supposed to be us nerding out over shit. And that's where we keep it. Because like I said, originally it was going to be Degenerate, but then Jeremy came along and he took over that role. So I'm happy to give him that role. Not saying we won't talk boobs on Mellow Mondays, because Mellow Mondays is built around boobs. Our poster girl is the beautiful Yannick Garcia. Let's get her on a stream one day. Wouldn't that be wild on a Mellow Monday if that ever happened? Wouldn't that be nuts?
Well, there's a few people I'm trying to get to go on a stream, but
that would break. I think that would break everybody who's a Mellow Mondays veteran. If Yannick actually somehow came on the stream, that would break us all. We'd be on like good boy behavior. It'd be weird.
Oh no, I wouldn't. I'd be asking her to do a weather forecast.
Oh, well, you don't give a shit. I'd be trying to get in her pants. So, I mean, I'd have that 1 in a million chance in my mind. If I'm nice enough, maybe I'll get to meet her and maybe I'll get to have sex with her. Yeah, that's it. Because we're guys and that's how we think.
Yeah, you're going to be that 12-year-old. Boobies, 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 boobies.
Hey, he's still in here. He's still in here. He hasn't gone anywhere. He just gets, he just, stays in his room until it's time for him to come out. All right.
Wow.
So thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. This was, she actually married that dude? Aw. Leave it to Legatus to just, ruin the fantasy.
You just kick him right now. That's just rude.
I mean, I thought that was just, I knew that she was seeing that dude that's always in some of her videos, at least back when they shouldn't make videos much anymore, that she would jump into. But man, she married him. Man, you just gotta rain on my parade. We're trying to end it on a happy note, and you just gotta come in, Mr. Reality, make me ruin my fantasies. Anyway, all right, guys. So thanks, guys. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, remember to hit that like button while the stream is live. It's still public. It will always be available, unlisted, on playlists. And So again, hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you maybe tomorrow night with something. Maybe, I don't know. I always think I want to do something between FNT and Ballbusters, but last week I was still tired from being sick, but I'm feeling much better now, so we'll see. Maybe I'll figure out a game. Maybe that. Says she's still dating. Either way, then there's a chance. All right, guys.
Good night,
thanks, everybody. Shut up. Thanks, everybody. We hope you have a good time. Take a night. Say good night. Have a good night. Wherever you may be. Take it easy, everybody. And we are